Est-ce que vous pouvez nous raconter comment vous êtes devenu chanteur et musicien?
Yeah, I've been a musician since I was 15 years old. I was in a group. It was a rock and pop group in Israel, and we did really, really well. We grew to become pretty famous in Israel. But I always felt at the time that Israel was uh, too limiting for me because I had very, very big dreams. And I actually left. There's a very successful group. We had number one a couple of times, number one hits over there, and we were touring and everything, and I was doing very well. But I left the group and I went to London just to follow up a career as a songwriter because I wanted to compose songs. So for the first year and a half in London, I was working as a dishwasher in a restaurant. I washed dishes. but then, I started composing, and I recorded a little demo that was entitled Milky Way. And I recorded it in a small setup of like 4-track recording, and I played all the instruments and everything. And somehow this demo was discovered by Warner Brothers in South Africa, out of all places. And they wanted to release it as it is. So they released it, and they asked me for the name of the artist and all this, and I stuck a different name because I didn't want to put my name on it yet. I wasn't sure I want a career as a singer. I was more interested in composing for others. But so I put the name of the singer Columbus on the record, and it became a very, very big hit in South Africa, number one for a long time. And until now in karaoke bars in South Africa, they sing the song. So then I met with Aviva, who was a friend of mine, and she heard the song, and we decided let's do a French version of the song together. And that was Bye Bye à Bientôt, our first
Big success.
hit.
Big success, yes.
So that's how it started. It's a long story, but it's true.
Si je me trompe pas, au début, les influences de la musique de Shuki et Aviva venaient à la fois d'Amérique du Sud et de l'Orient, par exemple de la Grèce.
Exactly, yes. At the time, during early 70s, if you listen to all the big hits, they were either rock and roll, rock and pop, but there were also a lot of songs with big orchestras and arrangements, and I always felt, if I come to another country and I try to compose or record music in their style, they don't need me there. They have better composers than me in every country. So I always felt that I need to come up with something that's a little different and that is very organic for me, because that's where I come from, the Middle East. I love Greek music, I love Latin music, and so all this was an influence on my composition.
C'est à ce moment-là ou c'est un petit peu plus tard que vous rencontrez Haïm Saban?
Yeah, at this time we met Haïm Saban. I knew Haïm Saban since I was in a rock group in Israel. When we were 16, he was in another group, and we often worked at the same clubs, and we were very, very good friends when we were very young. But when Shuki and Aviva became a success in France, he came to visit me, and we talked because he was speaking French fluently, because he was born in Egypt, and in Egypt they spoke French. I offered him to become our manager, and he liked the idea, and he also played me a little recording of a little boy from Israel named Noam, who was singer in Israel, and we decided to start working together, and then that's how it started. And I was with Chaim for over 35 years, we were partners
Oui,
together.
Chaim Saban a commencé avec donc un groupe qui s'appelait The Lions of Judah en tant que musicien lui aussi, et je me souviens aussi, il y avait la comédie musicale Air que vous avez fait ensemble.
Yeah, because when I was in London washing dishes in a restaurant, I met a British director, and when he heard that I'm from Israel, he told me, "Oh, you know, I'm going to Israel in a month. I'm going to direct a musical Hair over there." And he asked me if I know any big talent that he should audition for the musical. So I gave him the two names of my friends from the group. The group was called the Chocolates.
Yes,
And,
chocolate. Exactly.
Yeah, and so I gave him the name, and I said, "Those two are fantastic. You should definitely see them." And he went to Israel, and they started casting, and he casted my two friends in the lead role. But there was a third role that was a little smaller, and they called me from Israel, and they said, "Why don't you come and join us just for fun? Take a vacation and come. Let's work together again." And I thought it was a good idea. So I went there and I did it, for almost a year, 10 months. And that's where I met Aviva for the first time, because she joined the cast of
À
Hair.
cette époque-là, vous côtoyez aussi un grand artiste qui est Mike Brandt. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous en parler un petit peu?
Yeah, again, Mike Brandt, I knew since we were 15, 16. When I was with my group at the time, Mike Brandt will come from time to time and ask us to sing. And we would let him go up on stage with us and sing, and I always thought he was a fantastic singer. So I knew him really well. Later on, when he became such a big star in France and I arrived with Aviva, then we reconnected, and we were friends for until the day he died. You know, I carried his coffin in his funeral, because I was with Mike Brandt the evening before he killed himself. We were playing pinball in a little cafe, and the next day we were supposed to get together to go and get some furniture because he had a new apartment, and that's the night that he killed himself. It was very, very sad. We were very close, you know, Shuki and Aviva and Mike Brandt. We did a lot of tours in France and Europe. Many tours together, so we spend a lot of time together. Yeah, it's a shame.
Vous aimez la pop musique, vous avez eu un immense succès avec Shuki et Aviva, et vous êtes devenu un musicien très important pour la télévision. C'est quelque chose que vous envisagiez à l'époque ou pas du tout?
With Shuki and Aviva, just like what I did before in Israel, with Shuki and Aviva I reached a point where I wasn't very happy anymore to perform and to tour and all this. It's not really my personality. My personality, I'm the happiest when I'm in the studio, behind the stage, creating and writing. So after years of Shuki and Aviva touring, and we were very big in Japan and in Germany and other places, and so it's a lot of travel, and I got tired of it. And I still had big dreams to do bigger things, and I decided to leave, and so I left Shuki and Aviva. I came to Los Angeles, and I didn't know what I was going to do here, but somehow I bumped into Chalopin, and we talked about music for cartoons, and he was doing Inspector Gadget, and he asked me if I want to try to write a theme for it, and I said, yeah, why not? It'll be fun. So I did Inspector Gadget, and then, you know, suddenly I find myself every studio in Los Angeles was calling Chaim Saban and me to do the theme song, because for them it was a new source of income. Before that, a cartoon theme song didn't sell records. It was just a theme. But when we started our own style, it started to sell a lot of records, so the studios were very happy. For them it was extra income. And then after cartoons, you know, all the primetime shows like Dallas and Vegas and Starsky and Hutch, and they all came to us to change the music for them. So yeah, Chaim and I became like a factory of music.
Selon vous, c'est quoi la clé pour écrire un bon générique de série télé?
I think it's not a secret. I think it's an expression of who I am. I think like a child, really. I'm in my imaginary world. I was always like this. Even as a little boy, I was always very shy and a dreamer. I always dream of things that I want to do. So I feel that if I compose something that I enjoy and I have fun with, then the children will connect to it because it's real, it's organic. I'm not trying to put to construct a song so it will be a gimmick or catchy or this or that. I just go with what I feel and what I enjoy. And if I have fun with it, somebody else will have fun with it. It's really that simple. But the difference I have to say between the success of Shuki and Aviva and the success of the children theme songs, I think I enjoy more the success of the theme songs because the reaction you get from children is a true reaction. It's real. Children don't have politics in their mind or any other thought. If they like something, they like it, and if they don't, they don't. So the fact that so many children around the world like that music, I have to tell you a little story. I was in Sydney, Australia, in the production of Power Rangers' first big movie with 20th Century Fox. And we were right in the center of Sydney shooting a very big scene close to a park. And then we took a lunch break and I went for a walk in the park. And I passed by a group of young children playing in a sandbox. And right when I passed by him, one of them started singing the Inspector Gadget theme. So I stopped and I listened and I thought to myself, this is for me a magical moment because this kid doesn't know that this music came from me. I'm just walking by. But the fact that it touched so many children so far from where I was very, very exciting for me.
Avant les génériques pour enfants, vous avez aussi longtemps travaillé avec Jacques Cardona pour les studios Condorcet en France, qui viennent de fermer. Quels souvenirs vous gardez de Jacques Cardona à cette époque? Jacques Cardona, on le sait, hein, pour rappel, il va interpréter plus tard des génériques comme ceux d'Ulysse 31, des Cités d'Or, et beaucoup de génériques pour Saban Records.
The first thing that comes to my mind is in my heart, really. I feel very, very sad that he passed away so young. I loved that man. I loved Cardona, and I loved all the people in the studio who were working with us in Toulouse. There was a reason we went to Toulouse because I felt a lot more at home there. It wasn't the craziness of Paris. So I enjoyed recording all of Shuki and Aviva's playback and music and stuff in Toulouse. And Jacques Cardona was just like family at the time. I loved all of them. It was a great place for creativity. There were so many creative people there, and they were very passionate about what they were doing. So it was a fantastic time for me, my time in Toulouse.
Alors, à propos de pseudonymes dont on parle, j'ai trouvé beaucoup de disques avec différents noms comme Gemini, Apollo, Robin Manix. C'est vous derrière tous ces pseudonymes, à chaque fois avec Saban. Pourquoi est-ce que vous avez pris tous ces noms différents?
I don't remember all those names. I remember Robin Manix. And the Robin Manix came when I composed a song called Sad. Or in France, it was Seul, I think. And when I composed the song, I felt that somebody with a big name should record this song. It's very, very powerful. I didn't want to attach my name because we were famous at the time, and I didn't want the influence of what I do with Shuki and Aviva to be influencing the destiny of this song. And it wasn't my idea, it was somebody else's idea. I don't remember who, maybe Chaim, or I'm not sure. But I remember Robin Manix.
Yes.
And then funny enough, when the song came out, Andy Williams, who was a very, very big American star, recorded his version and he did very well with it.
Il n'y a pas simplement eu des chansons pour enfants, il y a aussi beaucoup de disques disco avec Deborah Shelton, Noam Caniel et d'autres chanteurs de l'époque.
All those were just really like a little joke between us because I was very, very busy doing so many theme songs and stuff. But from time to time we'll hang in the studio and I'll come up with an idea and I thought, hey, let's record it just for fun. And so it was never with any intention of making something.
Est-ce que vous pouvez nous parler aussi de votre souvenir de travail avec Bruno Bianchi, Yves Martin en l'occurrence, Lionel Leroy ou encore Bernard Derriès?
Bernard is one of my favorite people ever. We connected very strongly when we first time we met. And, he was working with Chalopin, but he was more, into the creative. And we really understood each other. And I had a great time working with him. The same, I should say, with Bruno. Yves Martin, I didn't have a long, close kind of relationship. We worked together. I liked him a lot. I always thought Yves Martin was very, very talented. But I don't have any specific memories, of like a friendship, so to speak. But I like him a lot.
Comment est-ce que vous choisissez les interprètes des génériques que vous composez, comme Lionel Leroy ou encore Jacques Cardona?
Well, when I wrote a song at the time, a theme song, we had an English version, which was the original, and then we recorded the Spanish version and the French version and sometimes Japanese versions. So I would just look for talent, and whoever was around that was good, we just worked with them. And also when I start working with people and it works well, then I don't go searching for other people. I stick with the same people that I work.
Quelle est votre méthode de travail? Vous composez beaucoup de bandes originales comme celle de Masters of the Universe avec Lou et Erika Scheimer. Erika qui va d'ailleurs chanter toutes les chansons. Quels souvenirs vous gardez de ce moment-là et comment vous procédiez pour composer pour les enfants?
He-Man, I think, was probably the first big theme that I recorded. And it was a little difficult at the beginning because Lou Scheimer and all of his people there, they had a very specific style, like every other animation studio really at the time. So their style of music was a little bit, like the classics with the big orchestras and strings and all this. And Lou Scheimer and I became very, very close friends. I became, with Erika, his daughter and his wife, we became really close friends. We spent a lot of time in his house and my house. We became very close. But at the beginning, Lou Scheimer was a very nice man. So when he heard that I'm going to do a demo for the He-Man theme, I think that he gave it to me because he was a nice man. I don't think he believed that I can do something that he's going to like, to be honest. So that's the truth. Actually, I just spoke about it a few days ago with somebody. But I went and I composed the theme and I recorded it. And I remember Chaim Saban and I coming to their office to play them the theme, and everybody was there. Erika and all the directors and Lou Scheimer and everything. And I had the same feeling that they're all just being nice because they like me and they're going to listen and they're going to say something polite. But when we pushed play and the theme started playing, everybody was on their feet. They were totally shocked. They go, oh my gosh. Can you do Shira too? I said, yeah, I can do Shira.
Alors, à un moment donné, cette aventure des génériques télé s'arrête, notamment parce qu'on ne fait plus de chansons pour les génériques à partir d'une certaine époque, seulement de la musique. Comment vous avez pris la décision d'arrêter et de vous tourner vers un autre genre d'aventure à la télévision?
Like I said, I always had many dreams, and my many dreams, it wasn't just to be a composer, because I was very much dreaming of doing something for movies. I like the idea of writing stories, of maybe directing a movie. It was one of my dreams one time. And when we first decided to do the Power Rangers pilot for TV, I just decided I'm going to write it. So I wrote the original pilot, and then I directed it. And it was the first time I came to a set with cameras and crews and all this. And I never directed anything before in my life. But I just knew what I want to see. And so I directed the pilot, and then it took Chaim Saban like 7 years to get it on the air because nobody wanted Power Rangers. Everybody thought it was very stupid. So it was just an evolution, you know. I always like to grow. I'm doing things now that I haven't done before, but it's fun. I like challenges. I like to always have a challenge and not just be comfortable doing what I do best.
Est-il exact d'ailleurs que pour le générique d'ouverture de Power Rangers, vous avez utilisé la même formule que pour l'inspecteur Gadget? Le Go Go Gadget appelle dans le générique et Go Go Power Rangers?
Exactly. And actually, I was with Chaim Saban in the studio, and we were talking to, what's his name? I lost his name suddenly. Yes, the composer who was credited on Power Ranger. And anyway, that's exactly what happened. We were there and we were talking about what kind of theme we want. And Chaim said, you need something like go, gadget, go, something. And I thought, well, go, go, Power Rangers. So that's how it started. But then I left this to the other musician, who is a co-composer in credit with us, and I don't believe I forgot his name, but yeah, he produced the whole song.
Quand j'écoute, on parle de ses influences, de tout ce que vous avez fait, quand j'écoute par exemple Shuki Levy et la chanson Je t'aime un peu trop, qui est l'un de mes morceaux préférés, et ben cette chanson elle me rappelle un peu les Cités d'Or. Est-ce que j'ai tort ou pas?
Absolutely, yes. I think it's because it came from the same composer.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
C'est que vous n'avez jamais fait de la musique pour les enfants, mais de la musique pour la télévision, en considérant les enfants comme des spectateurs adultes. Est-ce que je me trompe?
Yeah, absolutely. I always said you have to respect the opinion of little children, because even though they're small, their system is recording everything all the time. Everything they see, everything they hear in their own environment. This is what makes them a person, you know, especially at a young age. So when they hear they're in the car with their parents and the parents are listening to pop music, you know, they hear it. And then if you come to them with a silly little children's song that's designed for little children, and you try to be cute, and they know what's real and what's not. They feel what's real and what's not. So I always felt you should respect little children for their opinions and treat them like people.
Quand vous avez commencé à travailler avec Saban Records, il y a eu des chansons pour les enfants. Vous avez joué des génériques, comme celui d'Ulysse 31. Après plusieurs génériques, pour Bomber X par exemple, et ensuite pour les Cités d'Or, je crois que c'était la première fois que vous composiez des chansons pour toute la bande originale. Quels souvenirs vous gardez des mystérieuses Cités d'Or, et peut-être aussi des Power Rangers, qui a occupé la plus grande partie de votre travail, parce qu'il y a eu de nombreuses saisons?
The composition Cities of Gold, the theme had this feeling about it that Chalopin, Bernard, everybody loved, and they didn't want to lose it in the soundtrack of the series. And we talked about me, you know, creating a library of this music so it will have exactly the same energy. But I don't really remember the actual recording sessions or what we did different or not. But I know I played a lot of the music that you hear on Cities of Gold for the soundtrack. I played a lot of it myself, actually, with keyboards and drums and stuff. So it sounded a lot more personal, kind of. And Power Rangers, the first few years I was working long hours because I was writing a lot of episodes, I was directing a lot of episodes, I was reading every script for every episode and giving notes, and I was on the set every morning at 6 in the morning, so it was a lot of work. And then we started other shows at the same time. I was very busy.
Dernière question. Vous connaissez un peu Deep Purple parce que pour nous, quand on entend le générique de Jace et les Conquérants de la Lumière, bah forcément on pense un peu à Deep Purple.
Absolutely. Look, when I lived in London, every opportunity I had, I went to see Deep Purple. Ian Gillan was such an incredible singer, and I discovered actually Deep Purple because of Ian Gillan sang the voice of Jesus on the first original Jesus Christ Superstar album. So Ian Gillan, who was the voice of Jesus, and that's when I discovered him. I loved Deep Purple, and it had big influence on Jace and some other songs that I did, yes.